Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports Gaming. Right, if you haven't subscribed already, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, make sure you hit the notification bell, it all helps. So, back again with another one, as my good brother, Blue Blood Sports TV would often say. I am back at you with another one, quite literally. We were talking less than an hour ago about Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, and AJ, and what I'd been suspecting. And I drew you all back to a video I did back around this February time. I think February, late February, around about the 26th or 28th of February. I said that there's disturbing news that Deontay Wilder is in the picture and that Deontay Wilder would be facing Tyson Fury, and AJ was a bit of a smokescreen. Well, I went back to my source that I got that information from before, went back to them again, and I sent them my video about AJ versus Fury. And he said to me, it's interesting that promoters can't seem to get fights done, but somehow the other YouTubers can make money and big fights. The source that Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury is definitely on, and that Jay is out in the cold. This is a source that told us for the longest while that Wilder and Fury would be facing one another in the summer of 2021. That would make sense if we look at what Wilder's been doing in training in that video. It would make sense with Wilder saying he wants revenge, eye for an eye. It would make sense because Usyk and Joyce have not fought, and that way that Usyk's probably preparing to face Joshua. Joshua prepared to fight Usyk, so they may all have been in training, but they may have all been training for different fights. So that looks like the news today that Deontay Wilder is definitely facing Tyson Fury, and all hopes of Undisputed, the next fight for Tyson Fury, of long all but gone, disappeared out. And that's the story that's coming out now. So we'll have to wait and see if my source is correct. But it's not like we didn't tell you so. So let's stay tuned to see what happens next. According to more sources, that's a site that Eddie Hearn has not come up with the money for the site fee. That's the next story that's come out as well. So if you can trust a man that can stand in front of a camera on the day of Wilder versus Fury and tell us the fight's not going to happen on the day of the fight, then you all still want to trust a man. That's not good. But according to my sources, Wilder versus Fury 3 is going to happen. So all you guys out there that were jumping and saying Fury Wilder fights Fury Joshua, it's going to happen, Ingram. I told you so. Well, back at you with another one. So all you people that call Wilder are crazy, man. If this fight is made, Wilder Fury 3, then you're going to have to apologize to Deontay Wilder. It looks like Ingrid Armas is struck again. I saw a video that was put up by a frazzle Michelle Joy Phelps, who had it drawn on her reality of the situation. See, these people, all I'm going to say to you is this. These people are not, I ain't going to say nothing. But there's a lot of people who's going to have a lot of egg on their faces, put it this way. So, you know what I mean? And if Deontay Wilder now comes back and sensationally knocks out Tyson Fury, where does that put the heavyweight division? Does Deontay Wilder go number one in the heavyweight division again? And do you rush to see Wilder versus Joshua? Tyson. So I'm back in. Sorry about that. But yeah. So who do you think wins this trilogy fight? And if technical adjustments are made by Deontay Wilder, does that mean he still can't beat Tyson Fury? If he's able to feint and not get pushed back against the ropes and land that right hand and set Tyson Fury up, who hasn't fought since the last time they fought, and Wilder hasn't fought for that time either. But you see, can Wilder make the adjustments? Fury made the adjustments, and now it's Wilder's turn to make the adjustments. Can Malik Scott educate Wilder into throwing the right punches at the right time and put himself in the right position to land that bingo punch? We know he can punch. We know he can drop Fury. Yeah, now froze up. I'm back. We know he can. We know he can drop Fury. We know he can hurt Fury. We know he can have Fury out for the count of 9. We know he can do that with that power. We also know that in the rematch, Fury is able to drop Wilder too. But Wilder's talking an eye for an eye. So what is Deontay Wilder got planned that he's going to get revenge? Will people sleep on the fact that Wilder, like they've been sleeping on the arbitration, like they've been sleeping on the whole the contract being expired? All those people who did videos on Wilder's contract being expired, and all these people that love to talk about people being exposed. Now what happens to those people who've done video after video after video calling Deontay Wilder a madman? What happens then? What happens to these channels that have been calling for Joshua Fury? It's going to happen, and have been trying to sidetrack and push away the arbitration. Huh? What happens? Do these channels get away scot-free? While other channels that have been trying to push this, telling you about Wilder over and over again, keep getting ridiculed. What happens now? Are the people who've been ridiculing Deontay Wilder, are they going to apologize? All these people calling Wilder a madman, are they going to apologize? Or as some of them, the typical racists that some of them are, and some of them are downright racist, are they just going to carry on with that attitude of complete ignorance and arrogance, which some of them are? You know, good evening. Good evening, Denise. Hope that you're well. You see how boxing works. I'll tell you now. You've got these people who watch this channel. They'll watch the channel quietly behind closed doors, and they watch the video, and then they go and do the interviews afterwards, based on stuff that I've asked, like saying that Wilder's going to fight Fury. They set the questions up, and they go and ask the questions afterwards, right? And this is where the backlash is going to come, because they all thought they got it in the bag. So I don't know why, but when I saw Wilder's most recent Instagram post, Janet Jackson's track Nasty, started playing in my head. Guy really means business. That's what I'm saying. Get this smoke. Peace, everybody. Yes. So, according to the source, this is the same source that told you about the AJ Fury thing. Go back and listen to my video back in February about this stuff and what was going to unravel. This person said to me, Wilder is definitely facing Tyson Fury. You heard it here on BWTM Sports. Let's just wait for that announcement that AJ and Fury have collapsed sensationally, and now Wilder's the perfect opponent for Fury? Was he ever out of the picture, or was that what all the propaganda was all about? Wilder's right hand looked lethal in that video. If it landed on Femi, could Wilder 3 happen in Saudi, Ingram? Volts. Could it happen in Saudi? Why can't they hold it in America? Why can't they hold a fight in America? I don't see why they have to hold it in Saudi. I have no reason why they have to hold a fight in Saudi. Unless, I don't know, but all I know is one thing. Wilder is talking about serious revenge. Good evening, BG London. Hope that you're well. I'm good. Like I was saying, I was just doing a video earlier. And I posted the video out to my not tomato sauce, but the proper good sauce. You understand? I went back to that source and they told me that Wilder is definitely fighting Fury. Femi won't be left in the lurch. Femi, you're going to fight Usyk. Wilder's wife jumped into Misha Joyce's Twitter when MJP announced Fury AJ and ominously commented, "No one's fighting anybody until he fights Deontay." There we go. Ingram frozen like an ice lol. Something wrong with that stream. I know it is. I've been getting problems with YouTube all evening. And telling me the stream's not available and all this crap. But you heard it here. You heard it on BWTM Sports. It's Wilder versus Fury 3. You heard it here. No mind about no damn AJ versus Fury. AJ versus Fury. We told you this a long while back. Yeah, I'm dealing with a dial-up at the moment, quite literally. I'll explain why one day soon. But Fury versus Wilder 3. Get ready. Get your predictions. Both guys look in tremendous shape. If this fight's going to get announced for June or July, guys are both in great shape. They're good to go. So, yeah. Right. I'm out of here. So let's see what happens between now and whenever this announcement is that Fury and AJ are not fighting. It's an absolute disaster. Absolute disaster. The stream's running like Windows 95. Yeah, it probably is. Well, if we're getting Wilder Fury 3, that means Usyk is getting reared up for his title shot. Probably. That's what I said. Usyk Joshua, Wilder Fury 3. Not bad, really. And the winner of those two fights, fight for Undisputed. That would be great. The winner of those two fights, fight for Undisputed. And it's even a bigger fight then. Yeah, it is a bit like that. So, apologies for this. I'm having to literally grin and bear at the moment. But once we get it all sorted, I think by the end of this month, we should have streams sorted properly and everything. But just grin and bear for the moment. But get ready for Wilder Fury 3. And this should be fun. Real fun. My source has been very accurate so far, so I have no reason to believe otherwise. What do you think of Eddie's new exclusive deal with DAZN, and what does it mean for Sky? I don't give a damn about what Eddie does. I've said this a long time ago. I thought Eddie was going to do a runner a long time ago, and he literally has gone and done a runner. He's left and gone to do other things. The guy's always had money, but I always thought he'd do a runner anyway. So he's done exactly what I thought he would do, which is do a runner. I'm happy either way. We're getting some good fights. Yeah, we are getting some good fights. But where does this leave Joe Joyce? Where does this leave Joe Joyce? Who does Joe Joyce now fight? Chisora's got Parker. Usyk would have Joyce. Usyk would have Joshua. Wilder would have Fury. Fury. Ruiz is fighting Ariola. You know, a fighter. Joyce versus a Jagba? Maybe? I don't know. Heck, we might get Ingram Jones versus Roy Jones. Battle of the Joneses. Hey, you're funny. What about FA Jagba versus Joyce? I just thought and you said it. Yeah, so that would be a great fight. It would be a good fight. I don't see no point now. I'd like to see Joyce fight. I'd like to see Joe Joyce fight. You know who I'd like to see Joe Joyce fight? If Dillian Whyte is not going to get that title shot against the WBA champion, I'd like to see Joe Joyce fight Trevor Bryant. Joe Joyce, Trevor Bryant, WBA title. I think that's a great fight. Apparently, Herkovich, Hunter up in the air because Hunter missed test. Joyce could fight Herkovich. Nah, I don't want to see that. I want to see Joyce go fight Trevor Bryant. Joyce versus the winner of Chisora Parker? Nah. Joyce versus Joyce versus Trevor Bryant, and then defends his title against Parker or Chisora. I don't know what Jack will do with the pressure Joyce put on him. Yeah, I don't know either. But I'd like to see. I think I'd rather see Joyce fight. Joyce fighting Trevor Bryant, bringing the WBA title back home, and then fight Parker or Chisora. I tell you what I like to fight. I like Joyce to either fight Parker or Andy Ruiz. Those two fights would be cracking fights. So yeah, let me get the hell out of here, and let's wait for the dust to settle, shall we? This has been BWTM Sports. Shout out to my man Blue Blood Sports TV. As he would say, back at you with another one. Much love to you, Blue Blood, and all of the boxing community. Just waiting to see this whole thing fall apart sensationally.